Hello everyone and welcome to another Vintage Cube video. The new season is upon us. I am very excited. I'm always excited when Vintage Cube returns, but I'm especially excited this time because I am launching my coaching program. So just went off the ground, have had a lot of people sign up already. I'm very excited about it, and space is limited, so if you are interested, click the link in the description, and I would love to work with you over the next couple weeks, make you the best Vintage Cube player you can be. Alright, this pack is pretty bad. There's no power. The blue cards are all pretty weak. I think it's really between Mana Vault, Windswept Heath, and Stoneforge Mystic. Mana Vault has the highest upside. And that's probably just the pick. It goes into a lot of different decks. It's sort of a one-time use, so it's not nearly as good as something like Soul Ring, but it does enable turn 2 5-drops. Yeah, let's go with that. Windswept Heath is great. It's very flexible. I do like leading on fetch lands a lot. There's one module in the course about how to build mana bases and draft and lands and whatnot, and one of the takeaways is that fetch lands are great, unsurprisingly, but we'll take the Mana Vault here. Okay. Here we have a few options. There's Emery, which is very good if we end up with a lot of artifacts, but I tend to prefer to take the artifacts first and then get the Emery rather than vice versa. There's also Coercive Portal and Everflowing Chalice as good colorless cards. I'm not that interested in taking Ulamog second pick. There's no, 4 and 5 mana Planeswalkers that are amazing with Mana Vault, but yeah, I think I like just taking Everflowing Chalice. That gives us some redundancy. You don't really want to play big colorless cards like Karn Liberated with just one Mana Vault, but if you get a couple redundant pieces of artifact mana, then you can accelerate into big colorless threats like Ulamog more consistently. So I think I like taking the Chalice here. Coercive Portal is also good. You can play it on turn 2 off of Mana Vault, but I think I'd rather take the mana first, and then hopefully wheel Emery or Coercive Portal. Okay. Here we have a few options. This card is not very good, although Flash is nice. There's Splinter Twin, which is good, but it doesn't combo with what we have right now. Fallen Shinobi is great. There's Kozilek, just as a big colorless top-end piece. Thieving Skydiver and Thirst for Discovery are pretty good blue cards. Honestly, I kind of want to take the Kozilek. We just passed Ulamog. And Kozilek is one of the best pieces of top end. First of all, it's 10, which is a lot cheaper than 11 or 12. And it is wins the game very quickly if they can't deal with it. And then even if they do deal with it, you get to draw a bunch of cards. It also lets us stay open color-wise. Yeah, I'm going to speculate on this Kozilek. There's a chance we'll end up with a totally different direction, but we do have some good artifact mana. Now we take a Hallowed Fountain, I think. A Flooded Strand. Consecrated Sphinx and Treasure Cruise are both pretty good, but I think I'd rather... Well, actually, maybe Consecrated Sphinx is the pick. Very, very good with Chalice, or with our artifact mana plan. Mirari's Wake can help us get to Kozilek, but that seems like it's going a little too deep this early in the draft. Let's just take the Flooded Strand. Consecrated Sphinx is good, but... Well... You know what? I am going to take the Sphinx. Yeah, it's really, really good with acceleration. Oh, now we get Upheaval? Okay. Okay, I like where this is going. Mer Battlesphere is pretty good. Riftwind Cloudskate's okay. But yeah, let's take the Upheaval. So, blue artifacts. We need more artifact mana, though. We started with 2, but we haven't gotten any more since then. That's a late Exhume. And Braid is good, but I think we want to take the Academy Ruins here. That's sort of committing to this lane. But I think the lane is open. We haven't gotten artifact mana, but I think it's still the place where we should be. Yeah, that's a really late blue card. Also really late Grizzlebrand. And Collective Brutality. Okay, Reanimator is looking open, but I think it's still not a situation to pivot because our situation is open as well. Given that we already have 3 pieces of top end, I'm going to take the Ancestral Vision over the Sundering Titan. Yeah, let's go with that. Ooh, Metalworker. Okay. We only have 2 artifacts right now, but I think this is still the pickup. It's also just a great sign to see that going so late. Now we can take a Time Warp. Not bad. All right, well, this is an interesting start. We'll see if we get there. We need to get, 5 Signets. We need way more artifact mana than we have right now. So... if that doesn't come through, then we'll end up with a deck that just has way too much top end and nothing to do in the early turns, and that's not a situation I want to be in. But we could basically take mana acceleration over anything else. Okay, Corrosive Portal came around. Emery did not. We will take the Portal here. We want to have a high artifact count for the Metal Worker. But at this point, we can basically take mana acceleration over anything else in the format. So even if other people are taking mana highly, which they probably will, we can we'll be able to get some. There's a lot of artifact mana in the format, so yeah, hopefully we can get something. The best thing we could possibly get would be Soul Ring. That's no great surprise, but this would be an absolutely phenomenal Soul Ring deck. Turn 1 Soul Ring, turn 2 Corrosive Portal, turn 3 Time Walk or Warp, turn 4 Consecrated Sphinx. I forget what we... Oh, I think we took Kozilek... Oh, no, we took Consecrated Sphinx over Flooded Strand. I don't remember what we took Kozilek over. But it's a good card to have access to, especially because these sorts of decks can struggle a bit against counterspell decks. I mean, this particular build actually has a decent amount of card draw with Sphinx, Corrosive Portal, and Ancestral Vision. But if they just have, like, Remand your Ancestral Vision, Mana Leak your Consecrated Sphinx, and then they have, like, Cryptic Command for your Kozilek, you could just die. But because Kozilek has a cast trigger, you actually are insulated against that. Okay, Thirst for Discovery is pretty good. Expansion Explosion, okay. Blue is decently open, but we still really do just need a lot more artifact mana. As much as humanly possible. Yorion is good with nothing that we have at all right now. But I think I will still take it. I guess I'll take this in case we get Oko and want to splash green. Then Reclamation Sage could be a good card to have access to. Okay, Basalt Monolith is exactly the kind of card we want. Mind's Desire and Daze, and actually Daze would be pretty good as well. Oblivion Stone would be fine, Lotus Bloom would be fine, but Basalt Monolith is perfect. We have a lot of 6-mana plays. I think Basalt Monolith is not great in a lot of decks because, it's not great if you play Basalt Monolith and do a 5-drop or something. But if you have multiple 6+ mana plays, then Basalt Monolith is amazing. So that seems like a very good place to start. Interesting. This is not a Time Twister deck, unfortunately. It is sweet, but I don't think that's the right pickup. Teferi is amazing, but we have no fixing. Tezzeret is interesting. Actually, Tezzeret could be pretty good. You can play it and get Mana Vault or Basalt Monolith, and then it's very good at untapping those things. It might come around, but someone did take the Emery. I don't think it's Teferi or Time Twister. So if it's not the Tezzeret, it's Hangerback Walker, which is decent. It's an artifact for Metal Worker. It's a cheap play. Yeah, I actually think that's probably the pick. I hope Tezzeret comes around. The person who took Emery might take the Tezzeret, but Tezzeret is pretty bad unless you have, Basalt Monolith and Mana Vault type cards so that he can make a ridiculous amount of mana. So I think there's a good chance he comes around, and we do need to have cheap plays. So we'll take the Tez. Okay, I think we just have to take the Signet here. Charter Course would be good. Vendilion Click would be good. Deserted Beach could be good, but it's a Signet. Don't care that it's not on color. We're just taking any Signet we can find. Other than artifact mana, what is this deck looking for? We actually have a lot of card draw, which is awesome. That's something that is important in these sorts of decks, so you don't just only draw mana. Of course, more artifact mana is the number one thing we want. Beyond that, I wouldn't mind a few 3 to 5 mana value plays, like Urza or something like that. Tinker would also be amazing. We don't have Tinker targets yet, but that's just the best thing you can be doing in this sort of deck. Okay, we're not a Smokestack deck. Balance would be good here, but I think we want to take the Ballista. Yeah, let's go with that. Nice, that's a late Preordain. Okay, not really any other reasonable considerations here, but I'm not complaining. Preordain is very, very good. Just adds so much consistency to decks like this. Interesting. Okay, we have Narset and Golos. Golos is good if we get Tolarian Academy or Urza Saga or some sort of value line. It's okay for getting Academy Ruins, but not great. I think I'd rather have the Narset. It's very good card draw. It's pretty cheap, and it's good interaction against a lot of decks. This deck is going to struggle against aggressive decks, though. That's certainly our issue. Having Hangerback Walker and Walking Ballista helps, but that's our worst matchup. We need to sort of either hope to fade it or pick up a Worm Coil engine or something like that. How much acceleration do we have now? Mana Vault, Metalworker, Basalt Monolith, Signet, Chalice, 5 pieces. That's okay. We do also have card draw to find it. I would also love to get, like, if we're going to get another piece of top end, there's 2 paths we could go. We could go for Tinker, but we've already passed Sphinx of the Steel Wind, Mirror Battlesphere, and Sundering Titan. Oh, Workshop. Yeah, that is exactly what we want. Uro would probably not be good for this deck. Yeah, definitely taking Workshop. Layla should never go this late, but we're not taking it here. Now we can play turn 1 Metalworker or Basalt Monolith. Workshop is also very good with these X spells, very good with Coercive Portal. That was, honestly, one of the best things we could have gotten. And it might be better than Tolarian Academy in this deck. Really, really hoping to get a Mox or a Soul Ring or something like that in pack 3. I honestly have no idea what I would cut if we end up making cuts. Maybe Kozilek if we get more top end. We'll see, though. Okay, Brain Freeze, not very good for us, although it is a sideboard card. Echo of Eons, I like this addition to the format. It's cool. Actually, this is the combo. Echo of Eons plus Lion's Eye Diamond is really, really good. Echo of Eons is just not that good for this deck, though. I guess we do have Narset. Actually, maybe with Narset it is good. Lion's Eye Diamond is not very good in this deck. It's good with Upheaval, but that's a little bit too narrow. Yeah, we'll take the Echo speculatively. If we have nothing else that gives us value with that, we might not play it, but it could be sweet. Okay, Lotus Bloom versus Oblivion Stone. I think I like taking the Lotus Bloom here, actually. Well, maybe the Oblivion Stone. Yeah, let's take the Stone. It's really good to have access to ways to sweep the board. We have Upheaval, but we don't have Ugin, so this will give us some game against like Mono Green, stuff like that. All right, this is a brick. At this point, we're pretty committed to Mono Blue. I guess we could take Oust and try and speculate. Sword of Feast and Famine is just bad, right? Like, we don't have enough creatures for that, so we'll take Oust, but don't expect to play it. Ooh, Vendilion Click. Okay. It's not particularly synergistic with the rest of our game plan, but it's just a very good card. This deck is looking pretty sweet. We also have a ton of playables, so we're going to be able to make a lot of cuts. Let's make this deck a little leaner. These are the cards that we really want to be playing. Although, it would be sweet if we could make the Echo of Eons work. Alright, we'll take Smokestack. Good with Hangerback Walker, not very good with the rest of our deck. Guys, Cradle, okay. We probably should have taken the Bergie there, but really unlikely to matter. Just got a notification of someone signing up for the course. Always love to see that. There's Golos, pretty sweet. Actually, yeah, this may or may not make the cut. We do have Mishra's Workshop, but, well, it's good with, like, accelerating into Golos with Mishra's Workshop is good. Golos finding Mishra's Workshop is okay, but by the time you have 5 mana, that's probably not as necessary. Oof. Okay, this is a pack. This is a really good pack for us. Teferi Sweet, but we're not taking that here. Glenalundra and Mystic Confluence are phenomenal blue cards. There's Batterskull, which will help us out a lot against aggro, and then there's a Signet. Blue is somewhat open, so I think there's a chance if we take the Signet, one of the 2 blue cards comes around, especially since there's a Teferi in the pack that someone will take. Yeah, I think we take a Signet here. Close pick, though, for sure. I really do hope one of these 2 blue cards comes around. I think I would probably rather have, like, Mystic Confluence than Golgari Signet. But I would rather have Signet and Glen than Mystic Confluence. And I think that's really what the decision is. Batterskull would also be a great wheel, but we'll take the Signet here. Ooh. Okay, Simic Signet, Relic, and Thran Dynamo. Lots of good artifacts here. Jace would also be decent, but I think I'd rather have the artifacts. And I think I like the Dynamo. And now that we have Dynamo, we can actually play Kozilek much more consistently. That's a sweet pickup. Now, wow, we really are getting it all. Cryptic Command, Control Magic, Wormcoil Engine, and Dimir Signet. I almost want to take Wormcoil here to solidify the aggro matchups. And cut that. Yeah, let's take the Wormcoil. We just took a Signet, so I think we can afford to do this. Huh. Hull Breacher Horror. Okay. I think we'll take this for the board. Oh, or actually Mutavault. Yeah, let's take the Mutavault. This is just free. Yeah, I think this would be a good card to have access to. Hullbreaker Horror is fun. And if it comes around, that would be sweet. This deck is looking really good, actually. I wish we had the Emery. But other than that, it's looking sweet. Now we can get Stonecoil Serpent, another good pickup. It's going to be really hard making some cuts from this deck. Rashad and Port. Angular Leviathan is decent, and Sword of Body and Mind is also decent, but Port is very, very good here, especially since we're monocolored. Keep in mind, you can make the curve look different ways here. Here it looks like we have a lot of cheap spells, but we actually also have a lot of top end. These are all great payoffs as well. So good to have some flexible X spells. This is probably going to want to be a 17 land deck, potentially 16 depending on how many pieces of acceleration we end up with. Ooh. Frantic Search is good, but I think I'd rather have the Signet or the Power Stone. Probably Power Stone. Yeah, let's go with that. Oh, Tezzeret didn't come around in the last pack. That's a bummer, but not too bad. We still have a lot of good top end. So if the draft ended right now, we could just throw in 13 islands and run it like this. Still hoping to wheel Glen Elendra. And if that happens, we could either cut Time Warp or just play 16 lands. I guess we do a Thirst for Discovery, which incentivizes us to play a few more lands. Our creature count's also pretty high, so that makes Narset a little worse, but I think she is still worth playing. Oh, right now we're not playing Golos, probably. Yeah, I think that's probably the best cut. We'll see if we get any more good cards, though. This is looking like an absolutely phenomenal Mishra's Workshop deck. Playing any of these three on turn 1 is just ridiculously strong. Or even just a 3/3 with protection from multicolored on turn 1 and reach and trample. Whoa, Remand? Okay. Metamorph and Gilded Lotus would both be sweet as well, but Remand is just way too good here. Yeah, we got to take that. All right, let's cut Golos. So if we played 17 lands, that would give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 24 cards that basically just make mana. But we do have a lot of card draw. I think this could be a 16 land deck, though. I'm probably not going to play Golos over the 17th land. But if we do wheel something... Oh, wow! All 4 of these came around. How is that possible? Okay. Glen, Mystic Confluence, or Batterskull. Crucible of Worlds is not good for this deck. Mystic Confluence is better than Glen, I think. So it's Confluence versus Batterskull. Confluence is a much better card in general, but Batterskull helps us in our bad matchups more. And I think that's more important here. It's also an artifact, which gives us some extra value. Yeah, that's probably the only time I've ever taken a Batterskull over a Mystic Confluence in a blue deck, but I think it is correct here. Oh, well, yeah, I think it is correct. So I stand by that. Brainstorm is not good here. We have no shuffle effects. So let's take a Relic. We don't really have anything that makes us need to have a lot of artifacts other than Metalworker. But Seagate Stormcaller is not good. It's sort of funny to have this combo here. Brainstorm is not that good. Yeah, let's just take the Relic. It is good interaction in a lot of matchups. Control Magic, that's actually a card we want to play. Wow. This is a sweet deck. We got so many good cards. All right, what are we going to need to cut here? I think we can move Batterskull to the board, probably. Although we actually have a lot of creatures. Maybe Batterskull is quite good here. Like, equipping Batterskull to, like, Hangerback Walker or Stonecoil Serpent is very strong. I think we do play Kozilek, even though it is obviously quite expensive. Maybe we move the Relic to the board to start. I do like having access to the Control Magic since we have no other ways to interact with creatures. I'm not playing 15 lands. Probably Time Warp. It's okay, but it's better if you have more Planeswalkers, and we're pretty light on Planeswalkers. So we can run it like this. And this deck just seems really, really good. We have enough artifact mana. I would like a little bit more, but we have enough. We have a great top end. We also have good top end pieces that are early plays as well, and a pretty good sideboard. Like Oblivion Ring, Relic of Progenitus are both great cards to have access to. Potentially even Expansion Explosion against decks that have Time Walk. All right, sweet. Mono Blue Artifacts, a quintessential Vintage Cube archetype. See you in round 1. All right, we have our round 1 opponent with our sweet Mono Blue Artifacts deck. And we win the die roll. Whoa. All right, we're on the play here for round 1 against Patronize. We have a really good hand. We'll keep this. Upheaval is not really what we want in the opener, but we have the turn 2 Chalice for some acceleration. The question is, do we want to play the Preordain on turn 1? We have a turn 2 play either way, but I think I still will play the Preordain. We sort of know what we want in this hand. We want to find mana ramp and like sort of cards to bridge the gap between our Everflowing Chalice and our top end. So I think I will play the Preordain here. The awkward thing is, like, if we see 2 lands we might want, we don't know exactly how much we want them. But I still think it's worth it to play the Preordain here. Oh, like, this is a perfect example of a tough situation. I think I'm going to keep bottom the island and keep the Control Magic. I could imagine regretting this if we draw, like, no lands for a bunch of turns in a row, but turn 3 Control Magic is very good in a lot of matchups. Okay, well, Max punished. I wish I had done the exact opposite now with that Preordain. So that is why I often like to wait on the Preordain. I was sort of hoping we'd be able to find like a Corrosive Portal or something like that for turn 3, but that did not happen, of course. I would love it if they played a creature here. They do not, alright. Mana Vault. Okay. We could just jam Consecrated Sphinx. I don't think that's correct to do into all this open mana. This 2 open mana. But good draw for sure. The minute they tap out, we can just slam Consecrated Sphinx. Alright, that's a little bit unfortunate. They can steal the Mana Vault, then we can tap it in response. So they're not actually getting... They can't really use the Mana Vault at all. But Dak Faden is just backbreaking against our deck. That's probably the best card in the format against us. We really, really have to draw a land here. If we can play Batterskull, we're in okay shape. If we just make no play, then we're going to probably lose. Ugh. All right. So punished. Yeah, this has not developed well. The Preordain went as poorly as it could have. Control Magic has been a brick, and we missed the land drop. So really wish we had not played Preordain on turn 1. Probably we should have just held it. I think that was actually just a misplay. And now if we played Batterskull, they can steal it with Dak Faden. But we do have this Upheaval in hand. So if we can get to the point where we can cast Upheaval, we get our Mana Vault back, and we should be good to go. Expressive Iteration. They get another island. Ugh, this is really not looking very good. Dak Faden is just such a beating. All right, I'm going to cast this Batterskull. They can steal it, but we're not going to win by just like not doing anything with our hand of expensive tap-out threats. If they steal it, they at least lose their Dak Faden, and then when we play Upheaval, we'll get it back. The weight makes it very, very likely that they have a counterspell, but they were just thinking that they want to steal this. I think that they won't get the Germ too, though. The Germ will just die, and then they'll have a Batterskull that's not equipped. Bribery. They can get Kozilek, but we can control magic. Okay, we have a chance here. Yeah, we get to steal that. They need to. Hopefully, they plus the deck. Actually, the worst case scenario would be if they. Oh no, even if they steal one of our artifacts, we still have control magic next turn. Okay, this is just great. We get to steal the Kozilek, kill their Dak Faden. Then we'll have 2 huge dudes in play and a great hand. If they have Force of Will, we die. We can beat Daze. All right, GG. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I think the preordain is what lost us that game there, so probably should have held that. They're playing Bribery. That's very unfortunate. We don't really have any ways to beat it either. We can't really afford to cut all of our top end, so I think I'm going to keep in the control magic just to deal with that. Do we want to make any changes here? Cut Batterskull. I think I'm just going to run it back. So we want to be a little bit more explosive out of the gate here if possible. Like if we could get down like a turn 2 coercive portal or something like that, that would be pretty clutch. Wormcoil Engine is so bad against Dak. We can't really do anything against Dak Faden. The fact that they both Dak Faden and Bribery, which are basically just like unbelievably good against us, is unfortunate. We just need to basically hope they don't draw them. I think I will keep this hand. I don't like that it doesn't have a play in the first 2 turns, but I think it's still worth keeping. Remand, very good draw. All right, let's remand this. And then we just, like, I want to jam the Worn Power Stone, but it's so bad if they have a Dak Faden. I think I'm going to play Narset. Okay, we get a Preordain. Not bad. No Dak. No Dak. Okay, Suspicious Stowaway. That's fine. Do we want to steal it? Let's minus this to start. Signet, okay. Yeah, I think I'll steal this. Although, then we're a lot softer to Bribery. But I think being able to keep our Narset alive is pretty good. Basalt Monolith, okay. Walking Ballista, interesting. So let's start with a Preordain, I think. Well, okay, what is our plan here? If we play Metalworker, we are sort of incentivized to have a bunch of artifacts in hand, but I kind of think it's better to just go Signet into Worn Power Stone. So let's start with the Preordain, because we'll have enough mana to do that either way. Ooh, Click. Okay, we need to play Click this turn. We definitely want to play Click this turn. So let's go. I think we bottom the island, top the Click. Go land. Oh, wait, no, we can play. No, we can't play Signet, unfortunately. We'll attack for 1. And probably discard the Metalworker here. And then it's actually sort of sweet. They don't get to draw an extra card off of the Vendilion Click. So, because of the Narset. So, that's just free card advantage. Mana Drain. Alright, that's scary. What do you have here? Please don't be Bribery. Wormcoil Engine. Okay, we can beat that. Hangerback Walker. Not a bad one. Let's start by hitting for 1. This is unblockable, so they cannot do anything with this Worm Coil Engine. Okay, what's our plan this turn? I think I want to develop my mana with all these X spells in hand. We could discard Signet and then play Worn Power Stone plus Hangerback Walker for 1. Actually, no, let's discard the Stone Coil Serpent. It's very bad against their Death Touchers. So then we go land, Simic Signet. Worn Power Stone and Hangerback Walker for 1. We could play Big Hangerback Walker too, but I think I'd rather play Big Walking Ballista next turn. This keeps our Narsetter live. And then we're just like very live to draw towards Kozilek or Upheaval or anything like that. And we're drawing 2 cards a turn because of the Suspicious Stowaway. Sword of Fire and Ice. Okay, really glad we got a blocker down. So we're definitely going to be chump blocking this. Trent Dynamo, okay. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. Let's start by swinging for 1 to loot. Okay, we're just discarding Basalt Monolith here. 4 mana for Thran Dynamo. And then just 4/4 Ballista, I think. And then we'll pass. If they kill our Thopter, I probably will just chump block with a Ballista, which is a little unfortunate. This 8/8 Worm Coil Engine is actually a bit of a problem. We can't steal it with Control Magic either. I guess Control Magic's gone. But we're just drawing towards like our own Worm Coil or a Upheaval. So we'll block with our Thopter. We can also put Batterskull on something and like make our Walking Ballista just absolutely massive. Okay, pretty good draw. This flips too, so that's pretty nice. We can just draw a card. We don't have to discard a card, which is especially good given that, like, if we draw a land, it's actually good because it lets us discard to Thirst for Discovery. Thirst for Discovery. So we draw a Signet. Okay, let's go Thirst for Discovery main phase. Discard a basic land. Then we have 3, 4, 8, 9 mana. So I think we want to go Signet. Then we'll play Worm Coil Engine and suspend Ancestral Vision. Untap Basalt Monolith, sure. So they have a ton of mana, but I think we're pretty far ahead here. We're at a point where even if they steal our Kozilek, it doesn't do that much. We can sacrifice 4 permanents without that much of a problem and then just block it with a Worm Coil Engine. If they attack with their Worm Coil, I'll happily trade it with my Worm Coil, and then we'll both get 2 dudes, but we'll win that battle. And our equipment is better than their equipment, so if that's the axis upon which the game ends up being fought, that's good for us. Okay, they attacked. I think this is a bad attack. They do get to gain, or yeah, we both gain 1,000,000 life. This is not a game of life total for sure. Plateau, interesting. I guess they must have like a blue-white fetch land. We could kill this in response, but I don't think that's worth it. I just don't care about this token really at all. So we'll untap. This thing will tick down. Let's hit them for 2. I don't care about their life total, so I'm not going to attack with other creatures. We're just trying to find upheaval and then restart the game where we get a million things. Okay, there we go. So let's just do that. If they have counter magic, they have counter magic. We can just like put all that mana into Walking Ballista. If this resolves, we just immediately win. They would just concede to it. Okay, sweet. So we take down game 2. More often of their deck, the better of a matchup it looks like. Like an early Bribery or Dak Faden would be good. I mean, really, it was Bribery, Bribery, Dak Faden, and Force of Will. If they had only 2 of those 3, we easily crushed them last game. And then this game, they had none of them, and we crushed them. Mana Drain is scary, I guess. But they don't have that many good things to put out with the Mana Drain. Do we want to make any changes here? Don't think we want Golos. Don't want Smokestack on the draw. Oblivion Stone doesn't seem very good. We haven't seen any graveyard synergies. Yeah, let's just run it back like this. Oh, yeah, this is a hand. Workshop, Worn Power Stone, and Upheaval. I'm in for that. Turn 1, Worn Power Stone. Turn 2, Everflowing Chalice for 3. And then starting on turn 3, we have basically infinite mana. Opponent's on a mulligan to 6. Wow, that was maybe the best thing we could have drawn there. Or probably not actually the best thing, but one of the best things we could have drawn. Oh, yeah, so now we'll play Chalice for 2 into Coercive Portal on turn 2. Brawl. That's just a bad card. I don't know why they're playing that. I'm not interested in control magic on that. So I just want to make sure we have enough mana to do this. Tap the Worn Power Stone for 2. Let's see. So we tap everything. That's 6 mana. We put 4 into the Everflowing Chalice. So we have 2 remaining, and then Everflowing Chalice taps for 2, so we can play Coercive Portal. We haven't seen Days yet, so I don't think that's something we need to play around. And while I might want to attack with Mutavault next turn, I think it's better to get an island into play so we can have double blue for next turn. So let's go 4 mana, Everflowing Chalice for 2. Coercive Portal. And then this is our turn 2 board. That is really sweet. So we're set up. We're going to be making tons of mana and drawing tons of cards. If they have Dak Faden to steal our Coercive Portal, we're in really bad shape. But if they can't do that, then we're good. Okay, Chart a Course for 1 mana. That's good. 1 mana, draw 2. But it's still not going to be enough, I think. We have a ton of mana for artifact spells. For non-artifact spells, we're only going to have 6, so we can't, like, Upheaval next turn or anything. But we could cast Consecrated Sphinx. We will certainly be voting for Homage here, not Carnage. Oof. Well, that sucks. Let's just play Island Pass, I guess. On the bright side, it looks like we're holding up counter magic, but yeah, drawing 2 islands there was definitely the worst case scenario, actually. There's no possible 2 cards that would have been worse to draw. But the problem is now they're just going to hold up counter magic, so it's going to be hard for us to resolve a threat. They're still holding up Mana Drain. Oh, they're not holding up Mana Drain. Spellseeker. What is that going to get? Also, do we want to just play Control or Upheaval here, actually? They get Mana Drain. We'll see what we draw. Okay, so we can click their Mana Drain. If we just float all our mana and play Upheaval, what does that look like? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I think we just win if that happens. If that works. And it gets around Mana Drain too. Yeah, let's go for this. Okay, so we replay the Workshop. 6 mana for Everflowing Chalice for 3. Worn Power Stone. And we can just go to discard, pitch 2 islands. Then next turn we can play Coercive Portal and Thirst for Discovery. Turn after we can click them. They will have mana drain available, but they're not going to be able to just always hold up 2 blue mana. And so we should be able to find a window to deal with that. Preordain, not a very good draw when we're constrained on blue mana. Let's start with Thirst for Discovery, I think. Tapping this way because we're going to want to use the colorless mana and to play the Workshop. Okay, discard basic land. Bad draws there, although Port is actually not too bad. Then we'll play Coercive Portal. I don't think there's any need to play Basalt Monolith this turn. We can just play it off of the Mishra's Workshop next turn. Obviously voting Homage here. What to do? Let's start by casting the Basalt Monolith. If they want to mana drain this, that's fine. We can click them. Okay, that resolves. Now I'm just going to play the click. But I'm not going to do it in their draw step. I'm going to do it... The problem is if we do it in their draw step, they get the colorless mana immediately. But I guess they can't really use colorless mana if they just use all their blue mana. So that seems fine, actually. So let's play Island. And then go for the draw step click. They can mana drain it, but they probably can't do too much with that. It does resolve, so we're almost definitely taking the mana drain. Fractured Identity is a good one, but yeah, they should have just mana. I guess if their plan is to play Worn Power Stone, but I don't think that matters that much. I'm still going to take this. Oh, I exited out of way more cards than I should have there. That's fine. So they're holding these and Island. All right, 1 Power Stone, sure. Homage again. We can play a huge Walking Ballista. There's a Kozilek, okay. So we can cast the Kozilek, but they have Sower of Temptation, but we have Walking Ballista. I think I'm just going to play Walking Ballista this turn, actually. So let's go Mutavault. Then we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 7, 7 Walking Ballista. They play Sower of Temptation, we just kill it. Actually, let's just play Thran Dynamo first. I don't think, like, it's not that much worse to have a slightly smaller Ballista. And at that point, we might as well play Preordain first. We know exactly what we want here, just top end. We have the mana. Okay, Island is not necessary, but Batterskull seems fine. Then we want to play around the Fractured Identity to the extent that we can, and Walking Ballista does that quite well. All right, 6/6 Walking Ballista. Hit you for 3 and pass turn. Are they dead next turn if they don't do anything? Yeah, we can level up the Walking Ballista multiple more times. That's plenty lethal. Okay, they have their white source, so they can Fractured Identity or Walking Ballista, and then we'll just shoot them for 6 in response. And then we can play Kozilek next turn. I mean, yeah, they're just so dead. Although, actually, no, we can't really play well, no, we have Mind Control. So if they sower it, we can just get the thing back. We could also play and equip Batterskull to the Vendilion Click and hit them for 7 with Lifelink. We'll see what we draw off this. How much mana do we have? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we can play Batterskull plus Kozilek. I mean, sure. It's probably not the actual optimal play. Well, maybe we could actually lose this game. Maybe we can't just be super splashy. They do have Shelduck Isle active. But I don't know what they could have off that. That would be too bad for us. Let's play the Kozilek to start. See what we draw. So we'll do this. And then we can cast Kozilek without having to play land or without having to tap our blue mana because we are a little bit constrained on blue mana. Okay, the remand should seal the deal. So we'll cast this, hit them for 3, and then pass with remand up. Somehow we don't even have to discard the hand size. Wow, this has been a really sweet match. We lost round 1, or game 1, but we've been really cruising since then. They have Sower of Temptation, which we can remand. If they have another blue source, okay, they do have another blue source, so they can replay it, which means we can't kill them next turn, but we can take our Kozilek back. Also, we can force a chump block by putting a Batterskull on a Vendilion Click and attacking with the Mutavault. So they play the Sower. Let's do this. Oh, I thought they had enough mana, but they actually don't have enough mana to replay this. This is just sweet. We have so much mana. We have 7 cards. Our hand is stacked. We have 15 power on board. This person knows the channel. That's fun. So, fun opponent. Patronize, your deck is sweet, but our deck was just a little bit sweeter in this one. Really good start to the league. This deck is a lot of fun. I'll see you in round 2. All right, we have our round 2 opponent with our busted blue artifact deck. Really hoping to draw Mishra's Workshop every single game. No Mishra's Workshop, but I'm still not going to ship this. This is a little awkward because there's a world where we play Thirst for Discovery and want to discard 2 cards because we need the lands, but we have 2 islands. We have the turn 2 Signet. I think we keep it. We also have the Narset Vendilion Click combo. Not bad. Ancient Tomb. That's not fair. What? No, we're the only one that's allowed to have 3 mana on turn 1. Okay, scary start from the opponent. We'll see what they're doing with it. Oh, do we hold up Remand or play the Signet? I actually think I am going to hold up Remand. Because we really want to hit land drops, and I don't want them to... Okay, they just passed. That's not great for us. Oh, man, this is not looking good at all. Really busted start for them, and then we missed our land drop. If we had played the Signet, we could have played a 3-mana play this turn. But that's not even that good. We could play Thirst for Discovery, I guess, but that's not really where we want to be. We definitely want them to cast any spell. I would remand even a Mox. I think I would just cycle the remand on a Mox. We just need to hit land drops. No matter how far behind we are, we have upheaval. So we're not dead. Time Warp? Okay, I will just remand this. I don't really care about the Time Warp, but Spell Pierce that. Okay, I'm actually thrilled with that exchange. Spell Pierce Like, they could have spell pierced star anything else in our hand, and the time warp doesn't really matter. So it looks like they're just also playing mono blue artifacts. A little bit of a mirror match here. 6 mana, what is it? Upheaval. That's really weird. That seems like a terrible play. They were more ahead before than they are now. We'll go to discard and pitch Hangerback Walker, I think. Emery, we'll see what they hit here. That could be a problem. They can play Basalt Monolith in their graveyard. Hull Breach or Horror, that's a fun one. So we'll play Signet. Next turn we can play Thran Dynamo, and then the turn after we can play Upheaval. So the second Upheaval of the game may be the one that's good for us. We could also just play Vendilion Click first if we want to try and clear the path. Hopefully this is just Basalt Monolith. Alright, so they just pass, holding up mana. We draw a Basalt Monolith of our own. Okay, I'm going to go for the Thran Dynamo. If they counter it, they counter it. But if it resolves, then we can play Basalt Monolith also, and that'd be amazing. Plus, like, their counter magic is going to be good against us. So, like, we're not really in a situation where we can play around it super effectively. Okay, that worked perfectly. So now we have, all of a sudden, we went from having basically no mana to having 10 mana. So that's pretty sweet. If we draw blue source, we can go Narset into Click. I do think I want to play the Click before playing the Upheaval. If they tap out for something huge here, like a Myr Battlesphere, then we'll just probably need to go for the Upheaval. But we'll see what they play. They're also down to 8 because of this Ancient Tomb. That's sort of hilarious. Not that it matters too much. We're not pressuring their life total. But if we drew Walking Ballista, that could be something. Oh, this is more mana than I want them to be tapping. Jeez. Well, they're tapping out here. Oh, Venser. That's a little bit weird. Bounce our Thran Dynamo, okay. Echo of Eons. All right, that's a good play. That's really good. We can't do anything about it, so they get us. They're ahead on mana, but not, like, ridiculously so. We can play a huge Ballista to kill both of their creatures here. It's nice that we drew the Workshop for sure. Okay, so we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... 10 mana, so we can kill both of these and have the Ballista survive. We could also just kill the Emery. We don't really care that much about the Venser. Maybe it's better just to develop our mana. No, I think I like just playing the biggest Ballista that we can. Ten mana, Walking Ballista. I'm going to immediately kill the Emery and then pass with it being a 3/3. Actually, I guess there's not really a need to kill it immediately. We can kill it in response if they do anything that would put it into their graveyard. And with them being at 8, just like the counters on the Ballista do make a big difference. Tezzeret. All right, that's a little scary. They go up, so they're threatening to ultimate the Tezzeret next turn. They might just flash back the Echo of Eons. Time Warp. Ugh. Okay. They've cast multiple Time Walks and Upheaval and Echo of Eons. So if we can... And we missed our third land drop for multiple turns, so... If we could somehow win despite all that, that would be pretty amazing. They can ultimate Tezzeret, but that doesn't do anything. They could make infinite mana with Tezzeret, and so we'll see if that does anything. I think this actually should be a decent matchup for us, though. We definitely want to bring in Time Warp. All right, Sensei's Divining Top. That's a good sign. That means they probably don't have a great hand at the moment. Do we want to bring in Relic? I guess so. It's good against Emery, and it's good against Echo of Eons. Okay, so they did find a card that they like, but they don't have that much mana now. They only have 6 mana. Oh, right. Okay, they have 10 mana. Riftwind Cloudscape to bounce the Walking Ballista? That doesn't seem very good for you. Although they probably have a counterspell. Do we want to put the Ballista at their face or at their Tezzeret? Or their creatures, I guess. There's a lot of reasonable options here. Not face, I think. I think we need to deal with the board. Let's shoot the Tezzeret twice. I don't want to risk them being able to ultimate the Tezzeret and kill us that way. So now they bounce this and hit us for 2. Basalt Monolith is tapped, so we cannot play as big of a Ballista as last time. If they have another relevant play here, that could be tough to come back from. Okay, just a Signet. That's fine. Another thing? Just be another Signet, please. Oh, Flashback Echo of Eons. Right. All right. I mean, good draws. We can play another huge Ballista. So we'll go Island. How much mana do we have? Manifold is net +2. Well, yeah, we're definitely playing this. Then we have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can just play another 5/5 Ballista and kill their Tezzeret. I kind of think that's worth it. Yeah, let's do that. This has been such a strange game. Very swingy. They have 4 power on the board, but I'm not too concerned about that. We're still at 16. It's really just going to come down to how good their hand is, because they have a ton of mana. So if they find some other piece of top end, could be rough. Our hand is good too, though. We also have a lot of mana. Neither of these are untapping. And then Thirst for Discovery can help us to find more good stuff. We can't really play Upheaval effectively at the moment. 6 mana? Oh, jeez. Hullbreaker Horror. Okay, that's probably going to win the game. That can return our spells to our hand. Plus, it's just a pretty quick clock. All right, we need to draw something with Thirst for Discovery. Okay, I think we'll just concede to this. They return our spell. Wait. Did they? Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, maybe we could survive. Put Treachery on its own. Okay, their deck looks pretty good, actually. Their deck looks quite strong. All these draw 7s with their bounce spells and everything. They have 11 damage on board. Let's play Metalworker. Play Island Pass. The problem is this Mana Vault is going to kill us in our upkeep unless we pay 4 to untap it. Treachery the Metalworker, okay. Return this to our hand. I mean, yeah, I'll just concede. Okay, so we lose the mirror match in game 1. Very strange game. but we do end up losing it. So, I do think we want to bring in the Time Warp. I don't think... Let's see, Control Magic is okay. Actually, Control Magic seems deep. No, actually, they have a lot of bounce spells. I don't think we need the Control Magic. Relic is probably better than... Hangerback Walker, which is also weak to bounce spells. Alright. On the play here. Playable hand. Like, if they have just a ridiculously broken draw, I don't know if we can beat that, but I also don't think... Like, we don't have Soul Ring and stuff. Like, we don't have... Our deck is good, for sure, but it's not good enough that we can aggressively mulligan to broken hands. So, we just need to, like, curve out with our turn 2 Signet and turn 3 4-drop and hope they can't beat that. I'm just going to jam the Cursive Portal. If they have a counter, they have a counter. At least that means they can't use the Sensei's Divining Top. Okay. They do have the counter. But we have a pretty solid mana advantage here. Metalworker is pretty good in the matchup because they don't have great removal, presumably. They do have Treachery and some bounce spells, but that's it. Narset, good draw. I think we want to play that right now. Playing around Spell Pierce. We cannot play Remand right now. I think I'm just going to take the Preordain here. Yeah, let's do that. Sort of sad to put a bunch of spells on the bottom, but not the end of the world. They're not like spells that we're desperate to find. Okay, Thirst for Discovery is great, so we'll do it like this. And pass turn. Narset shutting down Echo of Eons is really good. Selesnya Signet, that's fine. Is it Signet? I mean, they have a lot of mana. They could just play Upheaval, I guess, and that would be sort of annoying. We can't really do much about it. Everflowing Chalice, I mean, yeah, they have a lot of mana. Worn Power Stone. We also have a lot of mana. Oof, that really, really hurts. That's actually sort of a disaster. Now we don't have that much going on. Let's play Metalworker this turn and then pass and play End of Turn Thirst for Discovery. Five mana, what is this? Just not Upheaval. If it's Upheaval, we just die. Okay, that's also pretty bad. We need to play Thirst for Discovery in response. Discard basic land. Well, we are likely to untap with Metalworker now, and we have 4 artifacts in hand, so we can make a ton of mana, but the problem is we don't have much action. If we draw Upheaval, that would be best case scenario. They take Basalt Monolith and then just jam it. Okay, let's get that Upheaval off the top. Not terrible. Let's reveal our entire hand. Play Wormcoil Engine. Play Batterskull. I think it is worth it to play one of these artifacts. We'll get the Worn Power Stone down, I think. It does actually, like, it's neutral on mana, because it was giving us 2 mana in hand too, but this is better if they have Echo of Eons. Although, we're really in bad shape if they have Echo of Eons, because they'll draw 7 and we'll only draw 1. But we actually have a lot of stuff on the board. So even if they do, like, Upheaval still just wins. But if they have Echo of Eons and draw a new hand, we could potentially win just with our board. Time Warp. Okay. It's not good, but it's not terrible. They can't use Narset again. It really just comes down to whether or not they have another good play, too. Oh, Tezzeret. Oh, well, actually, that's still fine. They can ultimate the Tezzeret, but that doesn't actually do that much because we have multiple good life-linking blockers. So they have Time Warp and then one other card. If their last card is a bomb, then yeah, we'll die. But at a certain, like, come on. You can't have Tezzeret and Time Warp, 2 5-drops into another good play, having just played Fractured Identity. Or can you? We'll see. Sower of Temptation. Do we lose now? We can block one of their artifacts, go to 24, then we take 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 27. Yeah, that sucks. That was like exactly what they needed to be able to win there. So if they just ultimate Tezzeret and attack with everything, we do die. They even have Venser. Jeez. Okay, well, GG. That's frustrating, but our opponent's deck was sweet. It was basically the same as our deck. But they are able to win the mirror match. So no trophy, unfortunately, but our deck is still really sweet, and we've had some very interesting games, so I'll see you in the finals. All right, we have our opponent for the finals. We are on the play. Good start, and really good hand. Well, good hand. Quite good hand, but I wish we had like a Warren Power Stone type thing to play on turn 2 off of this Mishra's Workshop, but still really good hand. I think we're going to play the Signet on turn 1. And then turn 2, we'll have 5 mana. We'll probably just play a 5/5 Stone Coil. This card is so strong. Buck McNasterson. What you got? A Windswept Heath. Okay. Cute mana acceleration. That's pretty good. You have 3 mana on turn 2. Meanwhile, we're going to slam this 5/5. Turn 2, 5/5. Turn 3, Wormcoil Engine is pretty good. Winter Orb? What are you doing, opponent? That just helps us so much. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Although it does mean that we cannot play Wormcoil Engine this turn. We'll hit for 5. Actually, I guess it's not too bad against us. Like, that's somewhat good. So they take 5, and then I think I'm actually just going to play Hangerback Walker for 1 here. Because I want to play Wormcoil Engine next turn, and Hangerback Walker for 1 versus 2 isn't that big of a difference. I wish the Signet could work, but that doesn't work how we want it to, because we can't use the Artifact Spells mana to activate the Signet. Urza Saga, okay. We'll go Mutavault, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's good. Let's attack with everything. All right, they're down to 8 already. And now we get to play Wormcoil Engine. And then next turn we can untap Mutavault, play Port, attack with Mutavault, and just have tons of power on the board. So they definitely can't spin the Saga. The way they could win would be like Reclamation Sage to kill this and chump block Wormcoil, something like that. Lotus Petal. Wow, that is strange. 7 mana? 8 mana? What is this? Terrastodon, okay. That's going to trade with a Wormcoil Engine, unless they make some 3/3s of their own. Yeah, actually, I guess they have to make some 3/3s of their own. Interesting. Okay. Metalworker was a brick. Well, we could actually lose this. But we do have Academy Runes to recur the Wormcoil. Let's attack with Wormcoil to start. They trade it with, or they just chump block. That's a little strange. Okay, well in that case, we'll just get the Metalworker down, and then use Port to tap down one of their forests. Now they just have no mana, so I don't think this is really going to work out for them. Refellos, but they only have 2 forests, so it doesn't even add that much mana. Well, we're drawing some bricks here. We'll attack for 6. Play this, pass turn, tap the land in their upkeep again. Oh, that was bad. We shouldn't have tapped the Academy Runes. Very unlikely to matter, but it could. There was just no need to leave up double blue, though. All right, they pass again. We'll level this up again. Control Magic. Okay, let's start, or let's just actually steal their Terrastodon. Yeah, that's got to be the right play. Then we can attack with all 3 of these. All right, so we take down game 1 of the finals. We get to bring in Oblivion Stone also, which is very good here. I don't think Golos is necessary. Definitely do like Control Magic. Hangerback Walker is only okay. Maybe we cut Narset, actually. They can kill it fairly easily. The static ability doesn't do anything, and card draw is worse when you're on the draw. Although it does help us to find our key cards like Upheaval and Oblivion Stone. I think that's still the cut on the draw, though. And on the play, I might cut Stonecoil Serpent. Ugh. This hand is probably too slow. It does have Oblivion Stone. But I don't think we can keep a hand on the draw that has no plays in the first 2 turns. Ugh. I know I just said that I can't keep a hand like this, but I don't think we would go to 5. So let's keep, put back Course of Portal, and hope that this Control Magic can put in a lot of work for us. Super weird to play Chrome Mox and Lotus Petal in a green deck. I really don't like that. Although I guess turn 1 Sylvan Library is pretty good. Wormcoil Engine is not really what we wanted to draw, but it's not as uncastable as it looks because we have this 1 power, or this Thran Dynamo. If we top deck Mishra's Workshop, we could go turn 2 Thran, turn 3 Wormcoil. I don't think I want to play Stonecoil for 2 here. That just doesn't seem like it will do very much. Although they did pay a lot of life. Maybe it would have. But no, I still think it's better to hold it. They go to 4. Wow. What's the play? Draga Tree Speaker. Okay. I mean, they have a lot of mana. And they just drew 4 cards. All right. We'll play the Monolith. Pass turn. I do wish we had the Stone Coil there, I guess. Like, hitting them for 2 would have been good. Like, this is just a weird play. I mean, they would, if we'd played the Stone Coil, they wouldn't have paid all that life, though. So, it's not exactly a fair comparison. Next turn, we'll have 7 mana, so we could go Thran Dynamo into Control Magic if we want to. Natural Order for Terracodon, okay. I assume they're getting Terracodon. It'll be interesting to see what they go for. They need to kill at least one of their things. If they kill 3 of our things, okay, they do that. Interesting. So we can steal their 9/9. Yeah, I think this should be fine for us. And I'm going to attack for 3. There being fewer creatures on the board favors us because they have stuff like, or they're more likely to have stuff like Gaia's Cradle or something. Raphellos, okay. Drawing land there is good. So let's go attack for 9. They'll block with the elephant. Then we can go land Thran Dynamo into 4/4 Stonecoil Serpent, which is a lethal attacker. So we'll see what they can do here. They could have a lot of mana. If they play Forest, they'll have 9 mana. But Craterhoof doesn't do it. They've already gone through both Terracodon and Woodfall Primus. They could play like Biogenic Ooze or something and just make some blockers, but if we get to just untap, like now we have so much mana with the Thran Dynamo in play, so we can play Thirst for Discovery, and then if we find something good, we can win, and if we find only lands, we can play Wormcoil. Control Magic is so good in these matchups where they just have huge... Oh, geez. Okay. Well, that's a way they can win. They can play Thirst for Discovery, discard all our good cards, and then Suicide our Terracodon into their Emrakul. Yeah, that's one of the cards they could have. All right, fair enough. So they're going to be able to wreck our hand with the Thirst for Discovery. The only question is, can we top deck something good? But, it's not even just about the top deck, though, because they can't kill us in one swing. We don't need to win on our turn. And if they attack, then we have this Stonecoil Serpent that they need to block. We'll see. So they play Thirst for Discovery, discard the Wormcoil, and the best thing of the 3 cards we draw. Yeah, I mean, that works for them. Discard Wormcoil plus click, then suspend Ancestral, or don't even suspend Ancestral, I guess. It just does nothing either way. Then they swing for 9 and pass. And now what are we hoping to draw? I mean, Upheaval would just win. We have a lot of things that would just win, but we also have a lot of lands. And they have a 13/13. All right, let's rip something. Basic Island. All right, I mean, I guess we'll suspend this. There's no reason not to. I can't really imagine a way that ends up being relevant unless we draw Upheaval, but, we can't win for some reason, and then, the game ends up going weirdly long. They have another play? That's bad news. They have another 8-drop? Really? How much top end is this deck playing? Craterhoof Behemoth. Alright. That's exactly lethal. We prevent 4, take 20 on the dot, so on to game 3. They have a lot of top end. That is for sure. So we're going to want to be fast. Do we want to bring in Narset on the play? I think we bring in Narset over Batterskull. They're actually just going over the top of Batterskull. They don't really care about a 4/4. Yeah. Run like this. It's really going to come down to, well, not fully, but if we draw Mishra's Workshop, we just win. And then if we don't draw Mishra's Workshop, it's going to be a close game. So if you want me to win, hope we draw this. If you want to see a close one, hope we mulligan to 2. See you there. All right, we have a playable hand for game 1 of the finals. No acceleration, but we do have remand for turn 2. Do we want to play Preordain on 1? I think I'm going to hold it here. We still don't know exactly what we want. Like, if we see lands, we don't know if we want that or not. Chrome Mox. Do they have the turn 1 Sylvan Library again? They do. That's pretty bad for us. Okay, let's play... no, I guess we want to hold up... Yeah, we'll play Island Pass. Or we'll play Mutavault and Pass, I guess. Just in case they play Planeswalker that we want to attack with. This is going to be tough, though. I mean, turn 1 Sylvan Library, back-to-back games, is pretty strong. They can draw a ton of extra cards. And offset the card disadvantage from the Chrome Mox. Opponent recognizes our name from the top of the leaderboard, as it should be. They crack the Wooded Foothills. 3 mana. I probably will remand their play here. But I guess it depends somewhat on what it is. Remand is better against Natural Order. If it's a Raphellos, I'll definitely remand it. Okay, Selesnya Signet, I don't actually think I'm going to remand. Winter Orb. Yeah, actually, I'm going to remand this. That's pretty annoying. They have a couple artifact spells. I think I'm just going to take it now with a Vendilion Click. Or at least look at their hand. We'll see what they have. The 3/1 is actually a really good clock against the Sylvan Library. I hope they pay life here. They don't. All right. Well, we'll see what they got. No lands. Do we just let them have all this stuff? No, we got to take the Natural Order here. I don't like it, but it's just true. Like, that will just win. And they have enough artifact mana. Yeah, Winter Orb is so good in their deck, actually. This is a very strange green deck, but it actually seems like it's fairly well built. Yeah, so we'll see. They go Raphellos, Winter Orb, and then we just need to try and, like, clock them with this Vendilion Click. Interesting, they're not playing the Winter Orb this turn. I'm pretty happy about that. Ooh, okay, Preordain, please give me land. Ouch. Bottom. We can kill the Raphellos either way, but I really want to go Chalice in to kill the Raphellos. Oh, that's brutal. Okay. Hit you for 3. Pass turn. See, like, we could have played Preordain on turn 1, and we would have had no idea that, like, we kept a 3-lander, and we just haven't seen a land since then. So, like, you know, we might have been like, oh yeah, we really want spells, but now we know, like, we definitely don't want those spells, and that can help us. So they have Everflowing Chalice and Winter Orb and 1 unknown. Oh man, 6 mana. I don't know what 6 mana things we can beat here. Oh, just Chalice into Winter Orb. Okay, we could potentially beat that. Brutal. Where are all my lands? I mean, of the non-land cards to draw, that was maybe the best, but I still would just do anything to just draw a couple lands. But they are at 8. This Vendilion Clique is going to win in 3 attacks. We probably just want to play a Stonecoil Serpent. Honestly, we might have wanted to play a Stonecoil Serpent for 3 that turn. But if we could get to Consecrated Sphinx, that would be much better because flyers are effective here. None of their top end is flyers except for Emrakul, which they're still pretty far away from. It costs 11. They have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. Yeah, they're not very close at all. They can make some chunky boys with Urza Saga. I guess that's actually a pretty big problem. They play Jiraga Tree Speaker and then pass. Okay. We need them to not have like a really good play here. Okay, just leveling up Tree Speaker is fine. And then they make a 6/6 construct, so we're not going to be able to push damage on the ground. Oh, actually, wait, that's good. It's annoying that we still have not drawn any lands, but that's actually a pretty good spell here. We're not going to die to their attacks. And then next turn we can play at least a Wormcoil Engine and potentially more. We're going to be able to tap the Metalworker for 8 mana, so that'll give us 10 total mana. So we could play Wormcoil plus Stonecoil for 4, I guess. Yeah, I would love to be able to play Wormcoil into Consecrated Sphinx, but that's not on the table, even if we draw land. If we drew Mishra's Workshop, then we could. We'll see if they want to make a token before they sack their Saga here. And then they need to kill us on their next attack, probably. We get a Wormcoil Engine. Craterhoof Behemoth goes over the top of a lot of things, but they get Mana Crypt. Okay, so now they're just dead. There's a 50% chance they're just dead on their next turn. Oh, do we just die to Craterhoof this turn, though? They would have 3 creatures, that's 9 points of pump. Oh, if they have to tap their Jiraga Tree Speaker, we don't die. They could play Emrakul. Ugh. Alright, that's game. GG opponent. They can kill our Metalworker. I mean, we'll see. Maybe they mess up, but like they should be able to win this pretty easily. I guess they sort of need to kill both Click and Metalworker. Actually, they don't really need to kill Click. They just need, if they just attack with a Metalworker, they should be able to win. Stonecoil for 0, yep. I guess even if they didn't even really need to kill the Metalworker, because they can in the air with the Emrakul. So they tap with the Vendilion Clique. We take a draw step. We don't really have any outs. They can tap all our lands, and they won't untap. So if they tap our lands here, I think we're just dead no matter what we draw. If they forget to tap our island, then we could play Consecrated Sphinx and maybe survive. But what are we trying to draw towards at that point? Probably nothing. Wormcoil Engine doesn't do it. Okay, well, we get a lot of mana here. Oh! What? Yes! Okay, so we can go... Wow, that was such a good draw. Alright, so we do this, float mana, play Upheaval. It's not even that good of an Upheaval. Like, we're not going to be able to establish that much of a board again, but we're not dead. So we go Island. Our opponent is a little bit rattled, surprisingly. Let's see. I think we just want to go Metalworker. Yeah, we just want to go Metalworker. So play this, play Metalworker, and pass. We could have played Chalice for 1 also, but I think this is just better. The Chalice adds more mana in our hand. So our opponent could have avoided that if they tapped our lands. But I'm not complaining. Hilarious. That was like the one draw that would have punished them. So we can tap the Metalworker for 6 mana. We'll have 8 mana next turn, so we can play Wormcoil Engine or Consecrated Sphinx. I guess we go Chalice for 2 into Consecrated Sphinx, probably. Or is it better to just play Wormcoil? Yeah, honestly, I think it might be better to play Wormcoil than Consecrated Sphinx here. Sphinx isn't a lethal attacker, and getting down like a dude that they need to chump block every turn seems valuable. Okay, good draw, but we're not playing it this turn. So let's go land. Tap this to add all 3 of these. Then go Chalice for 2. Wormcoil Engine. So their Emrakul costs 10. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana, so they're not that close. They could in 2 turns, but they're going to need to chump block with a Wormcoil, so I don't think they can do it. We'll see. I guess if they have Reclamation Sage, then maybe they could. It's a lot of mana. That is a lot of mana. We do have this control magic in hand, though. This has been such a ridiculous league. Game 1, we just had the most ridiculous draws ever. Match 2, super swingy games where there was multiple times where it looked like we had a window, but then our opponent just had like just enough things. Oh, what? Okay. They just play Everflowing Chalice. So their plan is just to get Emrakul next turn, which might work. Workshop. That doesn't really help us. Oh, wait, we can just win. Yeah, that seems like the optimal line, probably. Control magic your dude. Swing on in for lethal. All right. Wow, very, very strange league, but we do end up getting there for the 2-1. GG's, opponent. All right. So this was our blue artifact deck, and it was really, really sweet. In the games where we draw Mishra's Workshop, we were just broken. Like, we could do so many things so quickly, draw a lot of cards, make a lot of mana, have a lot of sweet top end. We were a little slow in the games where we didn't draw Workshop because, I mean, we're sort of just like, I mean, Mana Vault was our other broken start, but then other than those 2 cards, it's just like turn 2 Signet is not broken, but it's fine. So definitely a good deck, a really fun deck for sure. I think I enjoy playing these decks more than they are actually good, but you just get to do some really, really sweet plays when it comes together. And it is a good deck too. We got a 2-1, couldn't quite get the trophy. We actually lost to the mirror match, and their build was very, very strong, probably a little bit better than ours. If we draw Mishra's Workshop, I think we're better than them, but if we don't, we're worse. and we draw workshop under half of the time. But really, really sweet league. It was a lot of fun. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I am running a coaching program right now, and it's a really, really sweet thing. I think there's a lot that you can learn. You can have a lot of fun with it, and just get to be a way better Vintage Cube player. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, there's a link in the description. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.